In January 2010, campus ministry at the College of New Rochelle organized a Plunge service trip to New Orleans. The group, which comprised of students, faculty, and staff, helped build houses in an area that was devastated by Hurricane Katrina. During the first few days of the trip, the participants were immersed in the culture of New Orleans through walks along the streets in the French Quarter, visits to historical sites like St. Louis Cathedral, and a van tour of some of the areas that were damaged by Hurricane Katrina.
When we went sightseeing, I think I liked the tour the best because I learned so much about the history of New Orleans and basically a lot of background information that I feel is going to be useful for when we're working on the house.
Working with Habitat for Humanity, the group assisted in building 2 houses.
The first day was really hard because we had the drywall above our heads, and that was heavy in comparison to everything else that we're putting up now, like the fascia and the soffit. It's so light and it's easy to get up and down, but I didn't realize how heavy that drywall was and hammering above your head.
I have learned a lot about building houses, measurements, and how careful you have to be handling the nail gun, which I found to be a very powerful instrument to use. We are all working as one, which is something that I think is really motivating everybody to work very hard.
I don't think there isn't one person that didn't help me out this week. So it was a big team effort, which I think is why we got so much accomplished, which is cool too.
The group also got to meet and work with the individuals who would be the owners of the houses.
That kind of makes you feel good because when you meet the person, you get a sense of home as opposed to building a house. You're building a home, and that's the difference. The neighborhood that she's moving into is, it's one of the poorer sections of New Orleans, which is some of the background that I found out about where we were. And it was bad before Katrina, but Katrina just totally devastated it, which is one of the reasons why we're observing some of the things that we are in the neighborhood. And a lot of the empty lots and a lot of the abandoned houses, that people have not come back to, or nobody's decided, well, let's build here.
Working on it is something else, but being able to meet the people and interact and tell them, I'm giving this to you, you need to cherish this. It's a gift. I guess everyone has a different definition of service. For me, it's more like I should be able to cherish the gift that I give you so that you can cherish it just as much.
Every evening we gather, and an important part of the Plunge experience is reflecting on the experience on a daily basis, and we prepare a journal for folks to use on a daily basis to do just that. And we take about 15 minutes of some quiet time to privately, as individuals, write in each of our own journals. And then after that we gather for as long as necessary, either for 45 minutes to an hour, just talking about the day. And I asked 3 general questions. What was difficult about the day? What was good about the day? And where do we see God today?
I really enjoy the reflections and being able to listen to how everybody else feels or their experience of the days, because sometimes you miss a certain part of the day or something completely, you just miss it, you don't get it, and then you hear other people speaking and it puts things in a better perspective. You get a more complete picture of what really went on, because sometimes you're so distracted with the task at hand that you'll miss certain things.
I think the spirituality of the whole sessions that we had made the physical experience and everything else just come together a lot better, And we've all been respectful, we've all been very appreciative of each other.
I came not more so to gain, but to give. So I'm happy that I was able to contribute to somebody else's homes, something that can try to change their life or influence it in a better way, so that they can go on to get better things in life. I guess in terms of gaining, I feel like I developed new relationships with those who were like in my team, I guess, who came on the plunge, but I think it made me stronger. I think experiences like this where you have to get up early and do a manual labor, that type of thing, it makes you stronger in terms of like, might have a little muscle or two.
A sense of knowing that at least I've made an impact. Even though it's a drop in the bucket, it's getting us somewhere.
I think part of what I've gained has been what I always wanted to gain from the beginning, which was the reason why I came, was to feel like I helped in some way, like I was doing something a little bit more.
It was a great experience, and it was really nice giving back to the nation that I've grown up in and stuff like that, and it's nice just to see the life of other people outside of what I'm used to, and to see how other people are living, and it just makes me appreciate what I have and who I have around me.
From the first few days that we interacted, there's such a wide variety of people here, and in terms of background and cultural experience, and everybody has a different view of actually coming. We are here to help, but we also have our own little twist on, helping and so on.
You get a group of people in the beginning that may know each other just from class, or maybe you're peer ministers together, maybe you're RAs, but by the end of the week, you see this group of people as your family, and you're always going to have this experience. And each plunge is different. I can remember from Mexico with certain people, and you get together and you remember the feelings, the anxieties, the frustration, and the triumphs together. And this plunge, it's going to be the same way. We came together as a group. We're going to be leaving as a family, a cohesive group that has worked together, has sweated together, and has reached a goal where we didn't realize that it could be possible.
I've learned more that we need to stay involved, no matter where we are. That there's always something you can do, there's always something that you can pitch in, whether it's a small skill, of learning how to use a hammer, or learning how to use one of the bigger equipment. There's always something you can do to help somebody else out. And I think that's what I've learned this week.